Good morning everyone, and today we're checking out a brand new video from Conniex about what if Digimon could evolve beyond the Mega level. That's right, we're talking about the theoretical Ultra level Digimon.
The Ultra level, or level 7 in the card game, it's gone from a sort of semi-official stage to, by nature of things like the current card game, very much a real thing. Typically it's reserved for powerful fusions like Omnimon, but even that is not always the case now, with Digimon like Death Xmon and even the Burst and Blast modes from Digimon Savers and Tamers being assigned level 7,
Cool.
aka more powerful than Mega in the card game, ostensibly making the quote-unquote Ultra level more of a real thing than it's ever been in the history of the franchise. Which led me to wondering, what if it became
really cool.
the standard? What if Mega was kind of no longer the capstone of a majority of evolution lines? What if every Digimon anime group got to go up to a full level 7 instead of just to Mega? And with it being Digimon Adventure's 25th anniversary, let's begin with them.
Oh wow, 25 years. Let's go.
What is up, digital companions? My name is KhanEX and welcome back to another custom art video. And yes, of course, custom art videos are made possible thanks to my Sovereign and Davers over on patreon.com/KhanEX. Everyone on patreon.com/KhanEX helps fund my videos, and I appreciate you all so much, but I do want to give a special shout out to my Davers and Sovereigns who made this especially possible. Tarapin, Hilarion, GW, Mickey D343, Jeffrey Gibbons, and ZDK14. My Sovereigns, Davers, you are absolutely wonderful. Thank you for
Man, I don't know who ZDK14 really is, but that guy needs to just appear on the con show at least once. Give a face to the name.
Making this video possible. If you want to sign up over on Patreon, it would mean the absolute world to me. Even if you can just throw me $3, it helps support independent Digimon videos, it means I have to take less sponsors, and it all helps towards these custom art videos. But of course, there are many tiers, and I would appreciate it if you check them out. But even just subscribing, liking this video, and leaving a comment helps immensely in the algorithm, so thank you very much. For this video, I'm going kind of the opposite of things like DNA Digivolution. I am going for a unique level 7 or Ultra form for each of the 8 original Digimon Adventure partners. Don't worry, we'll do movie partners and 02 and stuff in future if this video does well enough. I want Digimon that are intended to be the zenith of that individual Digimon and its potential slide evolutions, mode changes, or parallel forms, making a kind of ultimate Digimon for that species. Not DNA Digivolutions, Jogress, or fusions, no Omnimon, no Imperial Digimon Paladin mode.
A true way to go even further beyond.
Instead, something that fully represents one Digimon and its associated variants. So let's begin with our War Greymon Ultra level. As I said, I wanted to make an Ultra or level 7 for War Greymon, but also combine in some notable War Greymon Mega variants like Shine Greymon, Victory Greymon, and Blitz Greymon, meaning that this Ultra level Greymon we're creating is visually and obviously more powerful than any Greymon Mega, not just War Greymon, to really cement it as an Ultra level, and this will be true of all the other Digimon we do in this video. And so, Weirdomon created Armada Greymon. Really fond of how this Digimon...
Hold on. Before anything else, first of all, look at that armor, because that's incredible. Like, the wings actually look more like missiles blasting off of him. He's got the, like, Blaster Greymon red crimson armor. Dude, this is already awesome. And the name, Armada Greymon. This guy is so powerful, he literally is a whole war army on its own.
Digimon came together, you can 100% see how it's a Greymon, and its scale would be much larger than the other Greymon Megas to show that off. Some lovely touches of the Crest of Courage on the shoulder, and the combination of elements from those Mega Greymon I mentioned. The more you look, the more elements you see from Blitz, Shine, Victory, and War Greymon. I think it's a really great piece. There is an overall red coloration more similar to Blitz Greymon, but you can really see how those different colors all come through. You can totally tell this is a Greymon variant, but with all those details, I do feel like it's almost like the ultimate Greymon in a similar way to Ancient Greymon, for example. And those big sword wings.
Honestly, this is like what happens if you were to take every Mega level Greymon variant and DNA Digivolve them all together. That's how you get this.
Certainly don't hurt. The ultimate representative of the Crest of Courage and all Greymon. Armada Greymon is a cybernetic dinosaur and destroyer of evil. It is said it can destroy Dramon Digimon with just one touch, but all enemies should fear its glorious Gaia stake. Moving over to a Metal Garurumon Ultra level, I pitched Soru this to be a godlike Metal Garurumon. It's metal polished to the point of becoming like gigantic crystals, crystals, and to blend in, I think, the most important other variant of Metal Garurumon at the Mega level, Crest Garurumon, but we're also going to include some Zed Garurumon. And Sora delivered here, it absolutely feels specifically like an evolution of Metal Garurumon, and like I say, that metal being polished to a point it's like crystal, but you can see these wings and the yellow hair being much more similar to Crest Garurumon, and that crystal-like coloration even references Zed. Sora's opinion is that it has no need for all the weapons and rockets the Metal Garurumon has because it can just materialize them out of thin air, and you can see that in the art. These are like...
It's like able to freeze the water vapor in the air and turn it into weapons.
Energy missiles. Its aura is so strong that it can summon them almost with like a psychic energy. They are just ostensibly Metal Garurumon's rockets, but made out of pure energy instead. There is so much energy coursing through its body that's the reason the eyes have the aura. It cannot be suppressed. The original body is under constant strain. That's why the feet are grey and full of veins. And it has 0-0 under the eyes instead of 0-1 because it is the absolute zero of the digital world, whereas Metal Garurumon would be the one to follow, the 0-1. And its diamond horn is a slight nod towards Gabumon, and even the earrings are in reference to Were Garurumon, so it does really feel like something, a capstone on the end of the Gabumon through to Metal Garurumon line, now also ending in Diamond Garurumon. Wonderful design work from Soru. This Digimon is under intense levels of pain that it manifests as intense aura, defending the icy planes of the digital world, but it has known to gather allies across the digital and human worlds. It will take no prisoners with its 0 Kelvin assault. Moving over to Hercules Kabuterimon, I had a very simple pitch for all trade. If this is Hercules Kabuterimon, it's ultra level.
Hold on, let me take a guess on the name. This is Hercules. The ultra level would have to be Zeus Kabuterimon.
Should be Zeus Kabuterimon. Yeah! But we did do some tweaking, and instead we got Titanos Kabuterimon, getting its name from the Titan beetle, but also the Titans of Greek myth. Just like Hercules or Heracles Kabuterimon merges the real-life Hercules beetle and the Heracles/Hercules of the Roman and Greek myth. Like I say, I pitched this initially as the father of Hercules Kabuterimon, Zeus Kabuterimon, and as such the design is meant to invoke Zeus highly. But there is no Zeus beetle like there is a Hercules or Heracles beetle, so we didn't feel right to use the name Zeus here because there isn't a real beetle in real life named after Zeus. There's apparently a Zeus bug, but it's too much of a stretch. All Trade always liked the element of leader Digimon where their final form takes on a more gallant
so it could be more like the grandfather of Hercules Kabuterimon.
Knightly nature in some way, and believe that Kabuterimon deserved a similar treatment. We also both like the parallels between Kuwagamon and Kabuterimon. Kuwagamon Digimon tending to take a more antagonistic role, and Kabuterimon tending to be more protagonistic, and felt that Hercules Kabuterimon deserved a human powerhouse form for itself to rival Grandis Kuwagamon. This is the knight's equivalent to Grandis Kuwagamon's kind of more evil feral animal. And while the X-Antibody sort of gets to do that, Grandis gets to appear in other media, whereas Hercules Kabuterimon X is generally locked out due to being linked to the X-Antibody more firmly. All Trade found the color scheme very easy with the pristine golds of Hercules Kabuterimon, which also gives it a bit of resemblance to the Digimon equivalent of Zeus, Jupitermon, but then with the purple of the Crest of Knowledge seeping back in, it enables this bug to not only be the pinnacle of Kabuterimon, but also potentially the peak of what a knowledge armor Digimon can one day become. This works as a Hercules Kabuterimon evolution, but also similarly you can see how Digmon, who gets its power from the Tentomon line, also could eventually digivolve into Titanos Kabuterimon. And you can even see how Metal Life Kuwagamon could work as a pre-evolution of this. Mixing bug with machine is a combo that All Trade could not pass up. And if you consider this to eventually be an ultra level for Metal Life Kuwagamon, kind of again, an all-father of Beetle Digimon, but specifically Kabuterimon Digivolutions, with Tyrant Kabuterimon often acting as an ultra level, digivolving from indeed Hercules Kabuterimon as well as other Digimon. Titanos Kabuterimon then becomes the inverse to this, not a tyrant, but a proud, heroic leader, sitting on Mount Olympus, if you will. And as such, Titanos Kabuterimon is the father of all bug Digimon, a tough but fair ruler who demands respect above all. It
a true Hive Lord.
Decimates its foes with its All-Father blaster. Alright, time for Rosemon, and my pitch was very simple to Adriano Davino. I wanted a Rosemon Evo that felt completely Rosemon. I did not want elements of Lotusmon like we get in Reflestimon. I wanted something just for Rosemon. And I like the idea of evoking things like the Rose of Versailles. It's a little bit of an odd reference, but I've always liked the connection between roses and France. A gigantic Queen of Hearts I think would also be appropriate, referencing Alice in Wonderland, and it's gotta be sexy. And Adriano absolutely delivered with Versailles-mon. This beautiful beautiful Queen
Oh.
of Hearts. Adriana Davino, as far as design
No, that is actually pretty good, and yet it's not as sexy as I would have thought. It's got a full head of flower of roses just surrounding it, and it's got some kind of sword, I guess, and it's also apparently got a little bit of a tan.
choices goes, really folded
Not
in
bad.
a lot of
Not bad at
heart
all.
and card related imagery, but in a subtle way. For example, the blue crystal on Versailles sword is meant to resemble the icon of spades, while of course the Digimon herself is meant to resemble the heart, with heart-shaped crystals on her forehead and in her chest, but upside down. So she's a queen of hearts, but also has the power of the spade. And this totally works as a Rosemon evolution, putting her side by side, or indeed at the top of the whole adventure line, Palmon, Togemon, Lilymon, Rosemon, Versailles. It just works so beautifully. Builds on Rosemon in a way that I think is very different to Rosemon X, but you can still see how maybe you could fold in like Rosemon and Rosemon X into this, maybe even Lotusmon if you were very determined. But I am so happy with the way Adriano took all of those concepts that can seem very simple on paper and make something that does genuinely feel like a step above Rosemon. Beautiful work. Versailles is the Queen of Hearts, and she takes that role seriously. She loves all equally, but will only take one who loves her back. Seen tending to the gardens of the digital world, she takes no notice of her monarchy, and instead seeks to cultivate all jungle troopers and other plant life Digimon. She will, however, trap any that would dare cross her or break her heart in her tangled vines of the Palace of Rose. Phoenixmon.
Honestly, that is actually a pretty damn good mon, and I cannot hate on it.
I really wasn't sure where to go with. I think I basically want to do the same thing we did with Rosemon, a Digimon that is just so all-encompassingly an evo of that one Digimon. But I would be lying if I said I didn't also want to include elements of other similar bird megas to Phoenixmon, like Valdemon and Zuchaomon. In addition to this, I also was a little bit disappointed when Garudamon became Phoenixmon, because I feel like a lot of the steps between Birdramon and Garudamon were lost in Phoenixmon. If you chopped Garudamon out of this evolution line, I honestly don't think you lose a lot in translation between Birdramon and Phoenixmon. So I always wanted Garudamon to be folded more into Phoenixmon's design, and by creating an ultra level with HLR, we got to do that. And so I really like the way that HLR brought that together to make Faravamon, getting its name from Farava, which is one of the best known symbols of Zoroastrianism. It is basically a man within a winged circle. It's this very intensely holy looking bird Digimon, also kind of reminiscent in my opinion of the Magician's Red stand from JoJo, which I'm also a fan of. Very grandiose.
I was actually just about to say it looks like a plucked chicken.
Feeling very evocative of some other holy Digimon. But you can absolutely see how this now becomes more like a Garudamon evolution too. There are elements of Beomon, Birdramon, Garudamon, and indeed Phoenixmon, with even the little tail bits of Phoenixmon now being branched out into much more clear trailing streamers. The small yellow wing portions of Faravamon are what were originally the full-sized wings of Phoenixmon, now much bigger and into a much more intense plumage. Its small claws now full armed claws. Just an absolute slam dunk. Faravamon is a holy Digimon. Its four wings that shine gold now erupting into feathers of righteous flame. It was the head of all bird Digimon when it was Phoenixmon. Now it is the head of not just all bird Digimon, but all Digimon of the skies. A Digimon that has pushed beyond its capability as the ultimate form of bird Digimon. And its holy ring now is now an anchoring point of the entire Digimon. Its special move is to rotate around its giant holy ring and flap its wings, creating a heaven explosion. Weirdomon's back again, this time to make the ultra level for Vikemon. And given that Vikemon has associations with Thor, one of its attacks is called Mjolnir, I figured
okay, please tell me at least this one can be Odinmon or something.
Similar to how I wanted Hercules Kabuterimon to have its Ultra level be inspired by Zeus, Vikemon's Ultra should be based on the father of Thor, Odin. And I also wanted to finally compromise the fact that we have Vikemon as a Gomamon Mega. Historically, we've also seen a lot of representation with Plesiomon as the Gomamon Mega. So much like we did with Armada Greymon, I want to combine those two elements, and as such, Weirdomon brought to life Aesirmon. Getting its name from the Aesir, the gods in Germanic paganism and in Old Nordic religion and mythology, with Odin said to be the chief of the Aesir. Did this mainly because we've used the name Odinmon in other videos, and I just like Aesirmon. I think it's a good name. I love how you can see the crest of reliability on its chest, very much cementing.
Oh, wait, hold on.
I love how you can...
Okay, bad quality, but look, Even the left eye of Aesiomon is missing and scarred, because in Norse mythology, Zeus, to help gain some knowledge, plucked out his left eye and gave it so he could receive some knowledge of the future.
You can see the crest of reliability on its chest, very much cementing this as an adventure evolution for Vikemon and Plesiommon. There's lovely little design touches I like here. It feels like a Vikemon evolution, but it's a little bit more aquatic feeling like Plesiommon, and it's got these ice axe
Dude, this straight just has the map of the 9 realms as a
wings, which is just absolutely inspired. I love the idea of the 2 weapons on Vikemon's shoulders turning into these gigantic ice wings. It definitely feels like Odin. You can see little details in his armor that it has been put together from defeat.
Oh, I just realized the bracelet over here. Oh, that's from Giga Seadramon.
So Digimon, like for example over here, you can see Metal Seadramon, and I do love this big spear he's got going on too. Aesiomon is the ultimate ruler of ice and sea, the leader of the Deep Savers Digimon, made with armor of the remains of its fallen enemies. Its lance is called Gungnir, and it never misses, with its grief Frieza. Alright, finally that brings us to the evolutions, the ultra levels of Seraphimon and Magnadramon, or Holy Dramon to use purists. And we're going to begin with Seraphimon's evolution, which I pitched as being based on the Archangel Michael. But obviously I had to make it so that this combined not just Seraphimon, but also Godramon, as Godramon is now being cemented as an alternate mega for the Patamon evolution line thanks to Digimon Adventure 2020. And I brought in Adriano Divino again to create Archangemon. Listen, it was tempting to just call this guy Godmon, but let's not go so crazy. I like Archangemon. It implies that he's the Archangel Michael, he's still an Angemon, and is somehow at the head of the table. Insanely impressed with how Adriano did this. It feels like a Seraphimon evolution. Combines in some other Angemon variants. I think you can see a little bit of Slash Angemon, maybe even a little bit of Clavis going on.
Weirdly, I'm actually getting some vibes from Gurren Lagann. Like, you just took Seraphimon and just put more armor around them. It's just a big ol' mech.
On here, the holy ring, now this big thing surrounding its top half, love that. And the loincloth, I guess, now erupting into holy flame. But of course, you may have spotted that its 2 halves being red and blue are in reference to Amon and Umon of Godramon. And indeed, the red and blue arm pieces that Godramon has. A total combination of Seraphimon and Godramon. I think this works so beautifully. Archangemon is a god Digimon with the power and soul of a dragon. A halo holy ring adorns its head, indicating its abilities, and it being sat next to the greatest force of good, sometimes known as God. Any hint of demonic energy in this Digimon has been expelled decades ago, and it is now one of the most holy beings in any universe. It delivers divine retribution with its Heaven Inferno. And yes, finally we come to Magnadramon, or Holy Dramon. And similarly, I pitched this to Rubik's as combining the 2 main potential megas for Gatomon, Magnadramon and Ophanimon. I did also say make it a humanoid fairy dragon, and well, Rubik's delivered with Evedramon. There was a part of me that wanted to call Archangemon Adammon or Adam Angemon, but I just thought it sounded kind of weird. But Evedramon I think is great. It implies it is one of the originals, something right from the start, and is still a Dramon Digimon. As I said, Rubik's combined Ophanimon and Magnadramon, and even though Ophanimon has a lot more armor, Rubik's wanting to lead more towards elegance. This is perhaps a Digimon that is so confident in
elegance over power.
Its holy ability that it doesn't need armor to enter battle, hence the dress. Rubik's then went with white fur and wings to add more to the angelic nature and purity, and added a lot of holy rings, which might mean it's extra holy, but that white element I think is a natural progression from the pink of Magnadramon, and even indeed calls back to how Gatomon is a little bit more white. And there are a few more nods to Gatomon in the design, such as the holy ring near the end of the tail. The chest armor on the Ultra is also a nod to the tips of Gatomon's ears, and the claws on the gauntlets could be seen as a nod to the animalistic forms, such as Gatomon in the evolution line. Evedramon is a ultra level Digimon whose beauty leaves all who witness her in awe. She's even beautiful as she fights. Her beauty can be seen as intimidating. Angels may not be afraid, but if she wasn't on my side, I'd be scared. Magnadramon is the ultimate form of God Beast Digimon, and Ophanimon is the final form of feminine angel Digimon, meaning that this Digimon unites woman and beast, human and animal, into the ultimate holy Digimon representative of the creatures of the land. As beautiful as she is ferocious, she could turn an entire battlefield with her shining aura special move, Eve's Grace. And that's...
Huh. Wait, now it's kind of like Cleopatra, who was able to, you know, command like whole armies with just a look.
Is it. All of our ultra levels for the Core 8 Digimon Adventure.
Okay, so before we finish this off, I'll go ahead and give my top 3. And of course, I gotta give that to first Armada Greymon, Acemon, and third place will unfortunately, but very fortunately, go to Arc-Onjamon.
Adventure partners. I love how these have all come together. Please do go follow the artist. Their links are in the description down below. Let me know your favorites, but don't be weird about it. Thank you to my Sovereign ZDK14 and my Davers, Jeffrey Gibbons, Hilarion GW, Mickey D343, and Tarapin, and everyone else who supports me over on patreon.com/KhanEX. If you want to join them, I would highly recommend it. Or you can join over here on YouTube channel memberships, and I appreciate all you YouTube channel members too. Still trying to find a program that lets me...
Alright everyone, that's going to be the end of today's video, and I hope you all enjoyed this. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original will be in the description below, and I'll see all of y'all next time when we flick back on. Till then, this is Fox, signing out. Peace.